Hey folks, we're up here in New Hampshire today and we're going to be talking about the M&P 9C. So this is the polymer frame 9mm pistol, the compact version. As you know, I'm a big fan of the M&P pistols because they've proven to me to be very reliable and durable. This gun is an older model and it has the angled sights here, which it's not really what I like. I prefer the block sights, particularly because if you're in a situation where you have to do a one-handed malfunction clearance drill, the block allows you to get something against that. However, for what I've been using it for, which is really kind of a backup trainer, I like it quite a bit, and it works fine. It does have the 3-dot, so we have two white on the back, the white on the front. Again, I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer night sights, but again, I just haven't replaced them yet on this gun. This gun was a used gun that I purchased. It was a mass compliant gun. And what that means is it had an absolutely horrible trigger. The trigger felt to me maybe a 10 pounds, 12 pound trigger pull. It was just dreadful. So I replaced the trigger with the standard M&P trigger, which is more like a 5.5 pound trigger pull. I also put in the Apex reset assist mechanism, which I believe is a huge help for the M&Ps because they don't really have that tactile reset on the trigger that I prefer. So today we're going to be shooting this gun and giving you my perspective on it. Again, I like it very much. I like the M&Ps very much. I think they're a great value, and certainly for a 9mm polymer pistol, they fit my hand better than just about anything else. So let's go ahead and start shooting and get to it. The M&P pistol, the 9C, comes with a 12-round magazine. And what this magazine, one thing it does is, because of its the little finger grip there at the very bottom, it really forms a nice grip on the gun. So as you can see right here, we're able to get a very nice grip on that gun. I have very small hands, so this gun works well for me. One thing to note about the M&P series of pistols is they do have interchangeable back straps. So if you have larger hands or medium-sized hands, you can put in the larger back straps in there really to shape the gun to some degree around your hands. The other nice thing about the 9C, similar to the Glock 26, is it will take a full-size magazine. So what that means is you can use a 17-round magazine, and that will allow you to run the gun. If you want to carry this as your carry gun, it allows you to carry a 17-round magazine with it. So you've got 12 in the magazine and 1 in the chambers. That's 13 rounds, so it's sort of like quite a decent capacity for what it is, plus that 17-round mag, or maybe a couple of 17-round mags as a backup. So that gives you, from the standpoint of round count, a fairly decent number of rounds, and certainly would have some benefit when you're looking at the size of this gun, perhaps over a compact carry revolver. That might be something that you'd want to consider. One thing I note in shooting the 9C here is that it's really quite manageable, and you'll see this as we do some of our shooting from the standpoint of recoil control and muzzle flip. The felt recoil is very, very moderate, and so what that allows you to do is get good hits on target without having to really fight the muzzle flip that you would have with some smaller, generally small pistols like this. Because of the shorter frame and barrel length, you're obviously going to get snaps. So shooting this gun, say in a 40, has more of that muzzle snap. So the 9mm is a good way for many people to go, perhaps people of smaller stature or women who are first learning. So what I believe is hits on targets really count. So there is no magic bullet, there is no magic caliber, so being able to get good hits on target with a reasonable sized round, in this case the 9mm Parabellum, is a good way to use a gun in a self-defense standpoint. As we're talking about magazines, and I've done a video review of this, the X-Grip, which is this piece of plastic at the very bottom of the magazine, you just slide over a 17-round magazine here, allows you to get a larger purchase on the gun if you're using that full-size magazine. So what that allows you to do here is, as you can see, now I've basically got almost a full, well, it is a full-size grip to a compact gun. Now, I'm not going to carry it this way. Obviously, if this adds so much additional space that if I were carrying a gun with that big of a frame, I'd just carry the full-size pistol versus the compact version. But it is a nice gun, especially if you're training new shooters to shoot, and having that additional grip at the bottom there, so that when they're presenting the weapon, when they're firing multiple strings, it allows them to get a better grip and purchase on the gun, which of course translates to better recoil management and ultimately better hits and better marksmanship. One nice thing about the M&PC with its ergonomics is it's very easy to shoot the gun off-handed or one-handed. And you can see there's very little issue with controllability of the gun. Sure, it's easier to shoot, but if you have to present the gun and shoot one, you can do that without any kind of an issue. And that's one of the reasons that I like the M&P 9C, because it's easy to get hits on target effectively and quickly. Okay, so now what we're going to do is a little shooting of the M&P 9C. And I've got a couple of targets out here at about 5 and 7 yards. And I'll just do some transitions between the targets, and we'll shoot a little bit. And I'll do this a couple of times. I've been shooting these targets a little bit already, just with some point of view shots, which I'll show you in a little bit. But right now we're just going to go out, present the weapon, do some shooting. And you can see, I think, just how manageable the gun is. There's not a lot of muzzle flip, not a lot of jump in the gun. I'm shooting factory ammunition, 115 grain estate cartridge, so factory ammunition. I'll give you a quick perspective on these targets, and you can see that we're getting good hits. So you can see here that our hits are right in there. Again, getting good hits, headshots are pretty much in there, and when we look over here at this target, I threw a couple shots out. As I said, I was warming up earlier, and a couple on the outside, but from a combat effective standpoint, they're right there. Headshots are right in there, right about where we want them. Again, target that we first looked at was 5, this is 7. You saw the speed I was shooting at, which wasn't super fast, but was fast enough that you could see at least there wasn't a lot of muzzle flip. So we're going to move the camera, take a slightly different angle. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing now, and I'm just going to fire a few rounds. I'm going to present the weapon, fire a few rounds, and just give you a view from that angle right there. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to a 17-round mag. I'm not sure I had 17 rounds in there, maybe 15. Wasn't counting. Again, we'll show you the targets. All of our hits are right in there. I'm not shooting super fast. Again, I've got a target at 5 and 7. Let's spin it around and see how the hits look. So again, we're getting good hits, center mass hits here. This is our target at 5, and we're getting good center hits up in here in the ocular cranial area. Good center hits there. Shooting at a reasonable speed. And our other target over here, similar again, decent hits. As I said before, I had 2 that are outside of our small circle here, but most of them are right in there. And again, from a combat effectiveness hits and using it, that's probably more than adequate for our needs. Now what I'm going to do is, we're at 7 yards away. I'm going to put up a couple of small dots, and we'll see if we can test the accuracy a little bit of the gun. The next thing we're going to do is the standard drill that I normally do for accuracy. I'm shooting my reloads now. This is a 147 grain plated bullet, excuse me. Relatively slowly, 850, moving at 850, 860 feet per second. And all I'm going to do is try to really work on my accuracy. So I'm going to shoot this, we'll look at it, then I'll put some factory ammunition in, and we'll see if there's a significant difference. Again, 7 yards away from our target, slow fire, shooting for accuracy. Let's take a real quick look over here. So there's our group right in here. A couple here, a couple here. I think I shot 6 or 7 shots. So anyway, you know, a fairly decent group considering this is a stock trigger and my reloads. I'm going to try the same drill, and I'll shoot a different point over here now or maybe up here with some factory ammo and see what that looks like. Okay folks, so here we are going back to 7. I'm shooting Anguilla. This is factory ammunition here, and this is a 124 grain bullet. You can see it looks like a little bit tighter group. Again, 124 grains at 7 yards. It seems that it likes that 124 grain round. Okay folks, out there at 25 yards, it's 25 yards away, we've got our steel plate, and we'll just see if we can hit it and ring it a few times. Not a problem at all. Again, this 9C, this M&P 9C is a very accurate gun, and certainly, again, for that center mass area on our target out there, the steel plate, we're able to ring it without a problem at all. Well folks, that's it. Thanks so much for watching today. If you like this video, please click on the like box in the bottom left-hand corner. Also, I want to encourage you to share the channel with your friends and family. We'd love to have more subscribers. So in summary, the M&PC, I think, is just a fabulous pistol. We've been able to get good combat effective hits at a reasonable distance at 5 to 7 yards. Even on our steel plate out at 25 yards, we're able to hit it consistently. And again, it's not major lifting with this gun. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay safe.